Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. So first of all guys, this morning, Cosworth block. This is the one for Eddie. So this is the block that's got the wire rings in the top. You can see there where we give it one lick and the wire rings are still in the block. Now these are usually just over 1/2 mil deep. And we need to remove these. We can't risk just giving it a face and leaving half of the ring in there because it may peel out. So we need to deck this block, unfortunately, so we can use the Victorine's multi-layer steel gasket. So we take 1/2 mil off this. Obviously then we're going to have to mod the piston crowns. The bores I've measured and they're good. So we're going to be using the Wasner pistons that are already in it. Bought a set of rings, so we'll have a look through there. So we've got the Wasner rings at 91.5. We don't want to start boring it anymore and using different pistons because these are perfectly adequate. We're just going to be obviously probably going to end up having to take about 30 thou off the outside of these and then modifying the inside. But these are slightly lower compression than the originals anyway, plus they got the pockets in. So once we've done that, that'll be fine. Crank's all good, been balanced. Rods, we've just got to, I've sized the rods, just got to balance the rods. And then this one really is doing a dummy build and putting the pistons and rods and crank in the block, and then Eddie can have it back really, so that's that one done. So that rusty heap of a Cosworth that was down on the floor there the other day for Russell, we have blasted this in our vapor blaster, and you can see it's actually come up really well, this thing. All the mains look good, which is a bonus. The only thing is the block was at standard, but unfortunately there's a bit too much corrosion. The first one's just about cleaned at 0.5, but the second one looks like it hasn't at the top. So I think we may have to go to 1 mil on this, which is a shame really, but we can always liner it back to standard if he ever had a disaster or whatever. The good thing is it is long studded, but I'm just going to drill and tap another 5 mil down on this side, the opposite side to the oil gallery. Give this block a lick over, and then that's all ready for Russell really to get building, collecting bits to build his 400 plus horsepower motor. So yeah, these are a set of rods here for the Triumph. So that is a Triumph over the back that John was dummy building the other day. I've got to size these rods, so John checked them, but we've got a little bit too less a clearance, so just got to ease these rods out. And then I'm going to balance them again. Don't think John balanced them, so just going to size them and then we'll balance them end for end, and then John can just pop these back in. So the A series guys, this is the one that the first one that we had in. Obviously that's the second, and we want to get this stripped really and get it all in the wash and get it clean before it goes in any sort of clean area. But unfortunately you can see we've still got the puller on the clutch. This thing is not letting go on the taper. So on these minis, you've got a taper on the end. The flywheel goes on, then the clutch goes onto the taper on the end of the crank, and the flywheel bolts to the back of the clutch. But unfortunately, that is not coming off. We've had it very, very occasionally on these, where you apply heat, and after 2 or 3 days of putting more and more tension on, bang, and you come in the next day and the thing's on the floor. But we've had it once or twice in the past where we've had to actually cut the flywheel off. So I'm hoping that's not what we've got to do with this, but so far at the minute we've had that on there for about 2 or 3 days and it ain't coming off. Hello everyone. Yes, I'm in the office again, under the sign. Who's taking me to court today? What little moans have I got about people? Well, nothing actually. I just thought, you know what, it's Friday, the weather's crap, and all I've gone on about all week is Cosworths, and not a lot's changing this week in here. Doing 3 videos a week is not easy sometimes. We don't always have the sort of content that I'd like to put in there. Jobs are on hold, you know, it is very difficult. So do you know what, I thought, me and Isaac and I were talking this morning about some of the comments. He tends to read these comments more than I do. And he gets a bit uptight about some of them. So I said, what do you reckon I should do today? He said, why don't you go in the office and do a sort of reading the comments bit in your video. And I thought, you know what, that's a good idea. So what I've done, I've just gone to a random video, and it's the one I did the other day where I did the, very surprisingly for me, I did the sort of clickbaity title, where it's got our fault and me going, basically making out that we've buggered up a Cosworth engine. So I thought that'd be a good one really to go through the comments, because there's going to be people that are slating me really for that. So yeah, just gone to the comments section, guys, and I'm just going to have a look at them. I haven't even had a look at them yet, so I should just pick them randomly. First one, Samuel Jarrod. Why never any uploads of successful builds? That sounds like a man who never really watches my videos. If you do watch my videos, you'll know that I can be a bit clickbaity. You know, I mean, I've gone on about this clickbaity thing before, and unfortunately, guys, with the YouTube, you tend to get probably twice as many views if you bend the truth a bit in your thumbnail and title. Don't like to do it. I'd like to just stand there saying, I'm just about to strip a Cosworth engine. Unfortunately, people don't click on it because it's pretty boring. They want to see a little bit of drama these days. It's just the way of the world, innit? I don't do it all the time, but it does help grow the channel and bring in new viewers. And at the end of the day, this channel mainly, although it's an informative channel for you guys, entertaining also, it's also good advertisement for our business. You know, most of our work comes from the YouTube channel now. So yeah, when I get comments like that, which we do regularly on a lot of the videos, people like that never really actually watch them, because if you watch them properly, you'll realise that most of these issues aren't from us. They're engines that we've got in with issues from either other people or whatever. I mean, when we're going about the warranties, a lot of the time, the reason I do it about the warranties, if it's our fault, it's hands up. We'll rectify it, you know, not a problem. You know that. We're pretty honest. The idea is to take you through the journey of the warranty process, really, whether it ends up being our fault or not. And as I say, you know, if there's people out there that are running small businesses that leaving comments like, you know, I would never put anything on there that when there's an issue, then they're kidding themselves. Every business has issues. You know, this is one of the things I said from the very beginning with this channel. I want to show everyone what it's like to run a business, not just about the technical stuff and what we actually do, whether we did that or anything else. I want to sort of people to see what it's like to run a small business. And whatever it is that you do, it's all pretty much the same thing. You have comebacks, you have issues, and it's how you rectify them at the end of the day. So, yeah, I don't really take a great deal of notice of comments like that. What else we got here? On the 205 block, would it be an option to put liners in to remove the wire rings, deck the block, and reuse the original pistons? Do that a lot. You know, you've seen in my previous videos, we put the top hat liners in, which obviously takes it brings the block back to life. It's a ductile iron liner that we use, and it takes it back to standard and sort of recoups the block really. The only problem is with it, guys, is cost. You know, it costs over £1,000 to supply and fit those liners, so it's not like a cheap option. There's nothing wrong with the bores on this. It's just that with the right wire rings in, you can either keep the wire rings and use a Group A gasket, fibre gasket, but some people just want to get rid of them, mod the top of the pistons, use a Victor Ryan's head gasket, job done. And that's what we've done in this case. So yeah, there's 2 or 3 options on that, but that's what we did on this occasion. So we've got, about the MGB, we've got the early BMC transverse engines with transmission were years ahead of their time. They were actually. Mark Cherryman, you're a sad person having to resort to clickbait. Sorry, Mark. Don't mean to be sad. Just explain why I do, though. And I think you'll find if you speak to many people that run full-time YouTube channels, I think they all do similar things. You don't lie in the thumbnail and titles, but you sort of bend the truth a little bit. Keeps you interested, doesn't it? You know, a little bit of that instant sort of, ooh, what's going to happen here? Makes you click on it, doesn't it? Someone here, not like me to dramatise the thumbnail. I'm done, boys. Bradley Davison. Oh, someone here actually about the A-Series Mini. With the A-Series Mini engine, stroke gearbox in the sump, with proper design, it works well. Check your kit car, and most modern bike engines all use the lube from the gearbox and wet clutch. You've got a good point there. The only problem is, it's absolutely fine and it is a great, neat idea, but you need to keep the oil clean, because obviously the difference between the bike engines and the old A-Series and the cast iron materials in the engine does wear a lot more than the bike engines, and you can get that crap and it just goes in your gears and bearings, etc. So you just need to change that oil regularly, I would say. But no, it is a neat idea and way ahead of its time, really, if you think about it. Go be a journalist for your local chip wrapper. You got my vote. I'm going to take that as a compliment. Does he think that I'll make a good journalist for the old local chip wrapper? Yeah, I'm going to take that. John Nuttall. Thanks, John. I'm going to take that as a compliment. I think I'd make a great journalist. Do you not rate Wozner pistons, Lee? Question mark. Are they noisy or just not your choice? Loving the channel. Fez Holt. No, I used to use Wozner quite a lot, Fez, to be honest with you. It's like anything, isn't it? You get your sort of preference on bits. I do still use the Wozner pistons. Wozner go up in funny increments of sizes for the Cosworth. Tend to use them a lot for things like the TFSI Volkswagen engines, things like that. Not a problem at all. Had a couple of issues with them with the Cosworths, but it's usually down to the mapping. The only thing is with the Cosies, I tend to like to use the original Mahler piston if I can. It works, it's proven. They're a brick outhouse piston, really. I now can put my own pockets in, do my own deck. They've got a nice thick crown on them. The base of the skirt is a good design, never distorts, or much less than other aftermarket pistons. So I tend to like to use them. But no, I do still use the Wosners on stuff. And they're great value, to be honest. Their piston and rod sets are dirt cheap. Fat Wallet Boy 2. You been pumping the iron, Lee? The guns are looking good, mate. Yes. 2 tickets to that show. I am indeed still training. Still got me coach. Eating all the right foods, etc. And feeling a lot better. I don't know whether you've noticed, but I seem to feel a lot less tired than I was before Christmas. Only been sort of just over 3 months now. Been on the old healthy food diet, and that does seem to help the old mental health. And yeah, the old guns are starting to show up again, like old times. Shame about the beard, though. Beard is coming on, but looking grey. I mean, it wasn't like that a year ago, or since I've had this YouTube channel, really. So maybe the stress is getting to me. That's some masturbate you did there. Don't quite know what he's implying there. I'm assuming he's talking about the clickbait, hopefully. Great video, and you really don't need any clickbait. That beard makes you look quite a lot older. Thank you very much, Stig333. I'm going to have a shave tonight. Your thumbnails are there to irritate the trolls, lol. A little bit of a wind-up merchant, you, in my honest opinion. You reckon? Actually, I do get a little bit of a kick about annoying the trolls. I know I shouldn't, and I shouldn't encourage them, but I'm sorry, it's probably just my nature. Great video, thumbs up. Every time I see that at the beginning of a comment, it sort of gives me a little bit of a kick, really. Mr. Neil Parry 1. Great to see you back on formally. Sharp haircut too, lad. Yes, mate. It is a little bit, isn't it? I go for the old skin fade usually, just to get rid of that tingly grey there. Not too bad on the top with the grey for 44 years of age, but I'm getting there. Be a silver fox in a minute. Bit like a new Richard Gere. I thought he was being serious here, this one here. Nev's mate. Scooby, similar to my flat 4 and flat 6 bikes. Piss easy to set up timing belts. Laughy face. Yeah, go and tell that to Isaac now who's doing his Subaru. Man's trapping his thumbs and fingers left, right and centre in the pulleys. Not easy, not nice. Reusing a timing belt? Question mark. Wow. Did you reuse the head gaskets as well? I'm assuming I know what he's on about. He's on about the Subaru we've just done, isn't he? You reuse the belt. Don't very often use the belt. The customer wanted to reuse the belt. It was a new belt very recently, and it's a tough belt. So it's up to him, innit, at the end of the day. But yeah, it was one of those jobs where it had sort of all been serviced and what have you. It's just that we had to inspect the engine. So on that occasion, we did reuse the belt. But no, we didn't use the same head gaskets. Don't worry. I think the combination of Isaac and yourself on the vlog works great. Good content again. Wayne Barilla. Thank you, Wayne. I think we're like a new Peters and Lee. Although I've never seen Peters and Lee. It's the first names that come to my mind. But yeah, I think we sort of bounce off each other there. He's a great lad, isn't he? You know, he makes it a lot easier. When he's holding the camera and we're doing our usual vlogs with me, I find it so easy to pump out videos doing that. I feel like I'm in my comfort zone. And it's great therapy for me because, do you know what? It's not easy doing these videos still after a couple of years in front of people. I don't find it very easy. Trying to be that over enthusiastic in front of the camera isn't easy while people are staring at you. I mean, John still looks at me as if I've gone bananas every time I'm doing one. He can't get his head round it. A Subaru wedding car? Does she know? I don't know whether she does, you know. And then the replies in that comment there. Maybe it's the car they dated in the front or the back. Another one here on there. Could be the last time he's allowed to drive it. Oh, let's hope not. Poor bloke. I mean, 650 horsepower. It's got to be a big four-wheel drive donut outside the church, ain't it, in that? I think so. Full send. Someone else here. Stop farting around with the Cozzies and get the Austin 7 motor running. Do you know what? I don't know how long that car's going to be on the ramp for. It's been there for a month. The engine's all done. I don't know what he's doing, but I've got this horrible feeling, because he keeps it outside his house, I think he's using the ramp as storage for the winter. I don't know. But he don't seem to be in a rush to get it in. I think the reason he don't want to get it in is because he knows that I'm going to be booking that hill climb for him. And he don't really want to do it. So there we go, guys. That is it, I think, for this week. We're going to be back Monday. Thank you very much for watching this video, and thank you for bearing with me with all the Cosworth work. I'm sure there'll be loads of Cosworth fans that are subscribed to this channel. In that case, you'll like them. My idea really with this channel, you know, and the engines, I want to educate people into knowing what goes into these engine builds, really, like with the Cozzies, because to me it's always seemed like anyone that's been able to do the Cozzy engines, it's always like a top secret sort of thing about them, where we can do your engine but we're not going to tell you what we're doing. I don't think that's necessarily true or necessary, really. I think people are spending a lot of money. These are keen enthusiasts on the cars, not necessarily engineers or know anything about engines, but it's nice to sort of educate them on what we're doing. So yeah, I hope you enjoy it, guys. As I say, it just so happens that we've got Cozzies in at the minute, and that's what I'm doing. But anytime we get any other things, like when we finally get that flywheel off the A-series, then we'll crack on with that and show you all a bit about that. But I hope you enjoy these videos, guys. If you haven't already subscribed, please just hit that subscribe button, and the like button does help the channel. I know everyone says that. But yeah, have a great weekend, and we will see you Monday. Cheers, guys.